All right. Thank you so much. We will record this meeting so that we can send it to you afterwards in case you would like to see it maybe in more detail and just in case your connection also drops. All right. So today we will look at the petty cash and how schools can record it in High School Management System. So Michelle, say for instance, you would like to record a petty cash transaction. How would you go about it?
Okay, so what you would do, let me just get to payments. And is it the payments one, if I remember correctly?
That's right, yes.
That's right. So with regards to recording a petty cash transaction, this is your full menu on the RISE app. So you would go to sales and payments, and we now need to create a petty cash transaction. Here you have your bank account, which you can switch to that you need the transaction to read from in your general ledger. So you would then choose petty cash. Obviously, for each school, it's customized according to the package or the accounting system that you use. That is the number that would be created here. The day of the petty cash transaction. Okay, so we can choose today's date. Here, your reference, we would reference it as petty cash. But the reference that did appear there now is the reference that follows automatically on the system, followed by the last transaction. So if I wish to add a petty cash transaction, it would be done as follows. Petty cash, the amount, let's say it's 700 Rand, and the purpose of the 700 Rand was for Teachers Day. Teachers Day refreshments. As soon as I enter the amount there, the amount would pull through there, and I would, after that, post and close it. Okay, let me just see. Okay, so this one already exists. Let me just do a different one.
Okay. So for your account in the general ledger, so say for instance, it's for staff refreshments. So
Yeah.
to record it under the staff refreshments?
Correct. So the general ledger account, the staff refreshments, because it is for the purpose of the Teachers' Day refreshments. And then it would post and close. Okay, the value is not unique. I'm just trying to see why it's saying that. 700 Rand, that amount there is correct.
Mm-hmm. It would be your reference, so we just need to make sure it's unique. Uh-huh.
So let's check like that. Post and close, the value field is not unique. The value field.
We can just leave what the system generates so that it's a unique value.
Okay.
Because so currently, yeah, we can maybe just create a number. You can just put in a number, so some number that will be unique.
15. Let's say 15. So prior to me wanting to add my own unique reference by calling it petty cash, it generated a system number P000523. But I deleted that and I've now created my unique petty cash number. So this would be the 15th petty cash transaction that I've processed.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. Great. And now, if you maybe would like to write, an internal memo under that payment, how would you do that?
Okay, so just go back there. School payments. Want to go back, just want to find it, B15. Is it capital 5?
Okay, so we go to bank and then payments.
So on this one, which is that transaction, you can go to, you've got tabs down here, and if you go to memo, this would be an internal note. So then we would say that it was refreshments, which coincide with the note down here. So it's refreshments for all educators. And I would say refer to stock refreshment. GL. Okay. So now did have all the detail down here. The amount. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. And now if you would like to see, what is your current balance in the, under that account, in the petty cash account, how would you check for that?
Okay, let me just check quickly. So let's still be bank stream.
Okay. So in this case, you would just go to your accounting and chart of accounts because it will be recorded under the specific account.
Yeah, when we need to check on the specific account, yeah. So under the general ledger, I would search, just give me a second. Petty cash. Sorry. So when I open the petty cash transaction, okay, this is just the detail to get the general ledger on petty cash. It would now show that petty cash reference 00015 dated today. That's refreshments for all educators, refer to staff refreshment GL account. It's 700 Rand. So my petty cash has now come down from 229.80 to 1529.80. So does the adjustment automatically.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Say, for instance, a parent phones you and they would like you to inform them, what they've settled so far and what is still outstanding for any learner. How would you look it up?
Okay, so let me just close this. So under school, you have your student tab. Just click, sorry, internet is a bit slow. So under your student tab, so the parent wants to know the outstanding balance and all the payments that has been made. Okay, so let's check. Let's go with that learner. Okay, so now you would get the learner card. So it gives you everything to the learner, but specifically, we want to know what has been paid. So there's something very unique that is incorporated on this platform called your document journal. So everything that happens financially for a learner happens within the documented journal. So on the 1st of January, the annual school fees tax invoice has been loaded. Then our parents have up to the end of February. If they pay in full, they get a 10% discount. So this parent has settled the school fees of 11,286 on the 28th of Feb, and we've, with the journal entry, allocated the discount. So the parent's balance is 0 at this stage.
All right. Great. Thank you so much. And now, will parents also see that on the communicator?
Yeah, definitely. So on the communicator, which is school. So on the school communicator, under resources, by having that learner's CMS number, the parent can check live billing, all past invoices and payments on her cell phone. So there's obviously a great convenience, because instead of calling the school asking for a statement or waiting for a monthly or quarterly statement, you can go in as soon as you've made a payment and your payment has been matched. You can check and confirm your payment live on the RISE Communicator app on your cell phone.
All right, great. And say, for instance, you need to create an additional guardian or a parent for one of your learners. How would you go about it?
Okay, so we always go to the student. Just waiting on it to open. So we can go back to Jada Africa. Under student details, you have these menus. There's the tab that says guardians and contact details. Currently in the system, we've got the father linked to Jada. So we'd now like to add the mom. So we'd click on create. And now we can enter the mom's details. So let's say it's Evelyn Africa, her email address would go in there. And all the information would go in here and save and close. Then it would reflect under this tab, meaning that additional guardian has been added for Jada.
All right, great. And if you would like to inform your parents about something important that is either going to happen or maybe that already took place at school, how would you do that?
Okay, so for that we would use our school communicator. So we've got, for example, important news to communicate to the parents. We would say create. Let's say it's today's date, and we'd like to inform them about our budget meeting. Budget 2021 meeting. So that would be the title. We can then add, you can either add a link that will take them through to a letter, PDF file, or you can add an actual, just go to the desktop, just see what it's called, sorry. So it's the Olympics, okay. Select from disk, can go to any, let's say that is the budget notice to parents, and you say okay. It will, so here it has attached the letter. Here is the mobile preview, and it's very important. So we would put on an alert, highlighting it in red, so that we ensure that the parent knows the priority level. And that is it. That is it. So the parent who has the app downloaded will immediately get this via a push notification saying that there is a important notice or news on the RISE communicator. You would then go into your app and it would be under the most recent news.
All right, great. And if you or maybe one of your educators or your admin staff, they need to create a resource maybe pertaining to the COVID-19 guidelines or something else, how would you do that?
Okay, would that be specifically for the whole school, or just creating a resource? Okay, so that would be for all the learners.
Yeah, maybe for one specific grade, yeah.
Okay, let's just check. So let's just give it some time.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, hi, good day.
How are you?
Hi,
Hi. How are
I'm
you?
well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Well, I'm looking at this software
I'm
that
all
you are
right,
using.
thanks.
I'm looking at this software that you are using.
Yes.
How can you access this software?
So we will discuss this just in a bit. So we're currently just doing a presentation, and then we'll discuss your question after the presentation. Would that be fine?
Okay. All right.
All right. All right, thank you.
Okay, so now we're wanting to create a resource. Let's say it's the COVID-19 guidelines. Here, you can also attach a file. So you would then, you can select obviously the relevant document pertaining to the description of your resource. But what we want to do is we want to send it to all the grades. So if all the grades are getting it, you'll see grade 1. So actually from grade R, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everybody would get this. But if this is the COVID-19 guidelines specifically for pre-primary school, this guideline would just be sent to the grade R's. So then we would tick grade R, and only our grade R parents would get the specific communication.
Mm-hmm. All right, great. And what if you would like to create an additional channel? So maybe you have a new extracurricular activity, so you just want to create it so that parents who subscribe to it will be informed about all the news.
Okay, sure. So just get back there, back to school. So we go to channels. And now we already have channels because during the COVID period, specific grades were, we loaded specific homework and guidelines and assistance per grade. So now I'd like to create a different channel for our art club learner parents. So I would then say art club learners, because we need to inform the art club parents of additional stationery required for the assessment. So I would save and close. So when the communication goes out to just the channel of art club learners, only those parents would get the relevant information. So here you are not limited to creating whichever channel is required.
Mm-hmm. All right, great. Thank you so much. And if you know, when you work in your bank stream and you approve your payments, either incoming or outgoing, how do you actually track, you know, in terms of your O43?
Okay, sure. And if you don't mind, can I just show them the event, how to, while we are concluding on the RISE communicator, then I'll go to bank
Absolutely,
stream.
absolutely, yes. Mm-hmm.
So when you need to communicate an event to the parents, so on the 19th and the 20th, we have something called the K-Olympics. So you would also capture it with its description. Olympics marathon, and it is for everybody. Okay, just see. It won't be on a holiday because it's on a Thursday. You would put in the time that it's happening, and then you can also. And I would just like to add the attachment. Let me just see. If you save and close, that's just for comments, that's for everybody. So we create an event, save and close. So this would pop up under events because you have your various categories on your RISE communicator. But linked to this, you can upload a video, a link, a poster, just to promote it live, and also obviously to encourage the learners and the parents and creating, an exciting vibe. So that is with regards to the communicator, and that is all under school communicator. So this is all the functions available. So on Anna's topic of the bank stream, so the bank stream is live. So everything that comes in on the bank account will filter through to our bank stream. So these are transactions from yesterday, I think up to, from the 1st of the month up to the 6th. So most of it has been approved already. But now we have a transaction and we want to see how we can track or measure what has happened to this transaction. So here we have, if we take this transaction on the 6th, it's a payment of 1,000 Rand. The invoice has already been linked, but I'd just like to rematch it quickly. Just give me a second. Okay, so as soon as I've typed in 263, okay, so the payment belongs to Martin Michael. I tick it off against his annual invoice to match it to that balance. Same match. So now I would like to approve this payment. But before that, I'd just like to open the income statement as well as the 043. Okay, let's check. So the 043 says that we are in second semester, July to December, because we are in the month of October. So we will see net school fees there. Actual to date is 8.9 million. So we're going to see the effect as soon as I approve 1,000 Rand on bank stream. So you approve it immediately. Accept the transaction, ACB in 263. So I'll just show you on the 043, if I say run report, automatically it has added the 1,000 Rand to my actual to date net school fees. Because the date prior to the transaction was 8.946906, and now it has added the 1,000 Rand. On the student account itself, M263, which is Michael Martin. Document journal records all the financial transactions. On the 6th of October, there is the payment receipt I've just recorded and approved. So whatever you do on your live bank stream reflects into a certain account, into your GL account. So also on the income statement, within this category of school fees charge, the income, that 1,000 Rand would have added. That's right. Is that clear, Anna?
Okay, that's great. Yes. So if you maybe have questions, we have a chat window on the right-hand side. So you can just type your question, or you can also ask your question at the end of the presentation.
Anna, if you would allow me just to demonstrate a transaction where it's a payment for 2 children.
Sure.
So it's called the split transaction. So you have 3 tabs, either new, match, or split. And this is the recorded amount that is live on the bank statement. But we know there's 2 learners. So you would split the payments and you would link each payment to each learner's individual tax invoice. So the parents don't need to make individual payments. It can be done. And after it's been split, it appears like this. So you've got the bank description saying that it's for Lily and Berlin Steve. That's the amount. Here's the splitted transactions. The type is split, and it can then be approved, and it will immediately reflect on each learner system statement, and also live on the RISE communicator billing under resources. Okay, Anna, you still there?
Yes. All right. Okay. Thanks for this. And if you need to, check in your budget how you're doing in terms of what you're spending and what you're getting, how would you check for that in your budget planned versus actual?
Sure. So under accounting, you have, this is where you read in your actual budget. We just go to, so this is the 2020 budget that has been captured. But if I need to measure in terms of what is left in a particular budget, I would go under reports to the budget plan actual, run report from the 1st of Jan to the end of December. So this is expenses. So here we can see that, for example, our third learner discounts is 20% discounts. If you have 3 learners in the school, the third learner gets a discount. We have budgeted 25,080 for third learner discounts, but in actual fact, we've allocated 20% discounts worth of 35,000 to the value of 35,000, so we over budget by 10,000. So if you drill down into this account, this would be the total amount of discounts that has been allocated within that budget. If we can look at another one. So for normal exemptions, we've budgeted 1 million rand. Thus far, we have allocated 888,000, so 88.4% has been allocated, and we still have 111,000 rand left, which I'm sure will soon be exhausted with all the pending applications, but this is the budget actual plan, which you can measure right in here.
Mm-hmm. All right, great. And just a few words. So how long have you been using the RISE system now?
So last year, I think it's exactly a year where we've met and you've introduced the system. In October month, we sent through our chart of accounts and our budget, but we've been live on the system since the 13th of January, I think, when the schools opened. And yeah, the journey has been very interesting, but I must say RISE is a very user-friendly system, and it's a live system. Everything can get approved immediately. You can measure immediately. You perhaps have a parent calling in and saying, but I've paid and the statement is not updated. You can immediately go to that transaction, approve it, and send an updated statement, and or encourage the parent to download the RISE communicator because it's so user-friendly. It keeps you abreast of all news, events, etc. Especially during this time, there was a lot of communication. And we've used Pastel previously, Pastel accounting. But in comparison, we are very happy, and also everything is being kept a record of. There's audit log on everything to see who has created what and when and why. And you have reports under accounting of all sorts. And I think everybody would be in agreement with me. Our 043 report was really sure. It was done. It was an interesting journey because there were certain WCD entries that I just had to correct in order for the budgets here to balance so that there's a zero there. And that speaks directly to WCED entries and how you map your transactions, because it's really giga. What you get in, you will get out. So if you work accurately and all the accounts are mapped accurately, your 043, which I know something that was always a headache now becomes a real breeze. Yeah. And that is one of the best things on the system.
All right. Thank you for sharing your feedback. Appreciate it. So now if you have questions, you can just unmute your microphone at the bottom of your screen, or you can also type your question if you prefer to type it. On the right-hand side, you just click on chat once, and you can just type your question there if you would like to. But if there are no questions, I'm going to present from my side. And you will
Hello.
see. Yes, hello. Hi.
Yes, there's a question.
Yes, okay, sure. Yeah.
Yes. The question that I'm asking is that how can we access this software that she's using? The
Yeah.
Rise what software where she's
Yeah.
putting figures. How can we access it as schools because we don't have it?
Yes. So I will do a presentation just to tell you a bit more about the software. And if you would like to get the software, we can discuss it also. I can send you a link and then you can see all the information. Would that be in order?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Okay, thank you.
That because to us it's new. We have never used it, but now we see that you can on presenting using it, whereas we are not familiar with it.
Yes, yes. So when you join the program, so we assist you with the onboarding and also the training so that your bursar and admin staff can get trained on the system and learn how to use it, specifically applied to your school.
All right. Do we have to pay for the software or you just use freely?
Yes, there is a fee, and I can maybe just take your email and I can email that to you after the school forum. Would that be in order?
Okay. Do we have to pay?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, thank you for your question. And I'm going to present the communicator. So I hope you can see my screen. So I'm just broadcasting my phone to show you actually what parents see. So as Michelle has mentioned, parents download the communicator on the phone. So it's for free for parents. They don't pay anything for this. And it's part of the package so that you as a school can inform them about all the updates, all the news, and everything that is happening. And of course, the billing. So just like Michelle showed you now, so when a parent makes a payment, they will see it on the communicator side and they can see what they've paid, when they've paid it, and also what they owe to the school. So communicator is not just for news, and for the events and contacts and resources. It also allows schools to use the incidents. So if your school is keeping track of incidents, meaning behavior incidents, I as a parent can also get informed about it just by going to the communicator. So if I just click on that incident, I can look, what happened, when it happened, and I can also mark that I've read this and that I notify the school that I know about it. Okay. Also, you can, as a school, you can create your news in addition to the desktop directly from the app. So if you are an admin staff member or even a bursar or a principal, whoever works with communicating with parents, so you can just create your news directly from the app. So it's very quick. So for instance, grade 12 coming back. So just as an example. And then you can put a date. You can also put in the whole message, and you can even take a photo if you need that. And then once you save it, all your parents will be informed about it. They will receive a push notification. So I'm not going to save it for now. Also, you can create incidents from the app if you need to. The same you can do directly from the desktop version, but this is an option as well. So you can just select your learners. You can select the transgressions. So that is also customizable by your school. So whatever you create, you can then select that specific transgression, and you can also preview what it looks like. So these, apologies, okay. So these learners, these parents will see it privately. So they will only see information pertaining to their child or to their children. All right. And then you can also keep track of your attendance, either from the desktop or here directly. So you can just mark whoever is absent and you can just save it. And it's saved. So this is the communicator. And in terms of informing your parents, about all the ongoing developments at your school, you can post any information, even if you have a fundraiser, pertaining to the lockdown, if it's maybe the budget meeting coming up. So you can just inform your parents about that. And different schools, they use the communicator slightly differently, because obviously you can make it work specifically to what you require as a school. But as you can see at the bottom, you can also see how many parents have viewed this specific news item. So in this case, it's 250. So you create it once and all your parents will see the information. And lastly, what I just wanted to share with you is the presentation, just for you to understand, why the system works the way it does. So about 3.5, 4 years ago, one primary school approached us and they asked if we can develop the learner data module. The reason being is the SIMS system that most schools use doesn't work so well. So it's difficult to access information, difficult to upload information. So we've done that. We've developed the learner data module. And then the next request was, can you not link it with the accounting? Because that's another challenge that most schools face. How do you actually link it together? And how do you make it talk with each other? And of course, when you have too many systems, it's also creating a lot of stress and you don't have enough time in the day to finish all your work. And not having correct information results in the fact that you can't provide, correct reports to your SGB and parents. And that's how it started. And basically the way Rice School Management addresses these challenges is by linking your accounting to the O43, to your learner data and all the reports, and also by saving you time, because as you saw now, when you work in the system, whatever you do on the bank stream front, it will reflect in your O43 and other financial reports. And this basically empower schools to report to the principal, to the HGB and parents, timely, and having the right information and having access to it when you need it. So how does it assist schools? So it's all in one, and it covers all your critical accounting, financial and reporting processes. But more than that, it also has school-specific functionality. And because it's cloud-based, everything happens in real time, and you can access it from any computer, any laptop. Your data is safe, it's secure. So say, for instance, your laptop breaks, nothing will be lost. Your system will still be intact. All your information will be there because it's in a cloud. And we developed it together with schools to address its schools' challenges. And it's in one system, and it saves schools resources and time. So as mentioned, it incorporates all these modules. As you can see, the accounting, and the accounting basically has everything you need to create your receipts, to create payment documents, to keep track of your petty cash. Everything is there, and it links to your O43, your learner data, and you can also batch invoice all your learners. You can either do it at once, or per class, or per grade. So it depends, how you do it at your school. And it also has the discipline module that also links back to your learner data, as well as enrollments, the bulk mailing, and the communicator with the live billing. The biggest value for school, because the system is only as good as your support and training. And schools, when they start using the system, they get training and also ongoing support, not just in terms of technical support, but also accounting support, so that all your questions regarding accounting processes get answered by our accountant. So some feedback. So Tygerberg has been using the system, I think it's coming close to 2 years now, and they've been very positive and happy about it. So previously on Pastel and the SMS bundle, so there were quite a few challenges, with communication and also accessing information. And Hanley, the bursar, has come up with a tagline which says, "With Rise School Management, you will rise above any challenges coming your way." Kuilen Primary, so Michelle is present today, and she's been assisting with the demo. So she has shared her feedback with all of you. South Peninsula High School, it's another school that's using the system, and previously also using other packages. They needed, everything to be in one place. And they did the training during the lockdown, and they've been quite hardworking, and using the system now for all the financial accounting related processes. And Debbie is sharing her feedback that the fact that O43 and budget report are automatically populated is a huge bonus in itself. Dennegeur Primary is a school in Strandfontein, and Pamela, she's also been trained this year, and they were previously using Excel, and she's quite happy with the system. And her feedback is that the team has been absolutely fantastic. They're very supportive, whether it regards training, needing some extra information, importing information, or helping me to understand certain processes. Sadie Primary, so their bursar was able to, complete the training really fast. And she also, during the training, she was able to submit her O43. So she's been also quite positive regarding the system. So she has shared that it cut her workload in half, as I didn't have to use my own cash book and the WCD's Excel spreadsheet. Nataja, so that's our accountant, helped me to put new entries which I required on the O43, and everything added up and was perfect. I wish I had started using it sooner. During this difficult time, it has helped me immensely, as it is an easy system to use and not time consuming at all. I can also work from home when required. And then another school, Firgrove Primary, so they were using also another accounting package. And what's interesting about this school is that their principal and one of their educators got trained in the system, and the principal has also been really positive, and his feedback is that the system overall is very impressive because it allows a school to do financial and general admin in line with the requirements of the WCAD. Many other mainstream accounting packages do not cater for the needs of public schools so directly. And he also finds it a big plus that our developers constantly improve functionality. The training was easy to follow and understand. The fact that you recorded all the training sessions and send it afterwards helps a lot. Your support is very good and the principal's updates help a lot. And the most significant aspect for him is the finance module. It eliminates a lot of duplication, and combined with the billing functionality on the communicator, it provides for almost real-time updates to parents. So he foresees a major improvement in communication and cost saving. So what schools can do on the communicator? So you can put up your timetables, exam schedules, any important updates, principal's letters, event updates, resources. You can also post links to any questionnaires, e-learning materials, or even photos and videos. So this is just a close-up, what the communicator looks like. You can also post in Afrikaans if you need to. The rosters, the schedules, any information that you would like to put up, you can do that. So schools spend about 20,000 rand on paper just to print everything, if you give it to your learners and then they basically give it to their parents. And of course, stuff gets lost. Parents then don't know what's happening. And so with the communicator, you can save about 15,000 rand per year just on paper. And if you use the SMS bundle, you will save even more. And as mentioned, you can keep track of your incidents, attendance, and create news. And you can also facilitate your enrollments, not having to, do the whole capturing from the paper, because it can create a lot of errors and also quite a big, admin workload. But you can also do it via Google Forms, which is integrated with RISE, and then just import it into the RISE system. And you can also email your parents at a click and see also who read your emails. So currently we have 3 options. So it's the communication package, the all-in-one, and the administration package. And you're also welcome to visit our website to see, all the details, what modules are included, and the structure. And as mentioned, the system is as good as the support and training. So when schools join our program, they get 10 hours of onboarding assistance from us, as well as 8 hours of training for your bursar and admin staff. And going forward, we also include 30-minute weekly meetings, just to make sure that your concerns, your queries, your questions, get answered, and so that we can discuss what needs to be discussed. And the system is expanding. So currently, the marks module is being developed. And yeah, the idea is that the certificates and the term reports can also be generated from the system, and that you can email them directly. So yeah, so the value for schools is that, just lastly to summarize, that it covers all the needs in terms of, accessing information of your learners, in terms of providing your principal with the reports and essential information on the finances front, in terms of your bursar, being able to work either from school or from home if they need to. Also the parents, who get informed on the communicator, as well as your admin staff, and even SGB, because SGB requires various types of reports that can be pulled from the system. And thank you so much for attending our forum. I really appreciate it. So maybe if you have questions, you can just unmute your microphone. Okay. I'm just going to stop presenting and check for the questions. Okay, the first question is, Good morning. We are a Section 21 school. How will the RISE system benefit us? So just to check with you, Section 21, if I'm not mistaken, it's a no fee paying school. Am I correct? If the person who asked this question, if they could just confirm. All right. So, okay, thank you. Yes. So one of our schools, they're on the border, so they charge fees, but they are quite negligible. And I think the bursar even has mentioned that from next year, they might even become a no fee paying school, because currently many of their learners, they get subsidy from SASA. So not all learners even pay what's due. So they get basically assistance from SASA. So she's been using the system since the beginning of this year. And she says that it absolutely helps her, because just like you saw, any payments that you basically facilitate as a school, whether it's your whatever you pay to your suppliers, any fundraising activities, all of these, it needs to be centralized. And that's even if you don't receive payments from your learners, but you still need to facilitate many other processes. So the payment of school fees is just one little part, but all other aspects in terms of you also seeing, checking your budget, tracking against your expenses, and also other income, because some schools, maybe they, they rent some space, or they do other activities just to generate some income to cover their expenses. So all of that is done on the RISE system. So based on the feedback, from the school, one of the schools that's in a similar situation, she has definitely said that it has helped her a lot, especially with the O43 and the learner data, because the learner data, if it's, outside somewhere on CIMIS or Excel, there are many errors that can happen, and you just don't have the current information. Yeah, I hope I have answered your question. The next one is, hi everyone, when using the RISE system, does the school load all the learners initially, or does support assist? Yes, Shannon, so that's right. So that's part of the onboarding. So we provide you with a template that you can either get from CIMIS, or if you maybe use another system, it doesn't really matter if you use maybe another system for your learner data, and then it gets uploaded into the system, and all your learner data is on the system. And then going forward, if you need to update it, you can just update it directly. All right, I hope I've answered that. Okay, and then a comment from Michelle. RISE school management was definitely beneficial during lockdown period, as it's cloud-based. The finance team could continue to work from home. Thank you, Michelle, for this feedback. Yes, so most schools, could work from home, because it was quite a few months of lockdown. And yeah, so many schools, they were happy about it, because it means when you go back to school, you don't have a big, basically, pile of work. And the next question is, does this system enable academic reporting to parents? Andrea, so just like I've mentioned now, yes, so the marks module, we've basically completed the calculation part. So you can input your marks, and it can do the calculations. And currently we are looking at the certificates and the term reports. So your report cards. So, we are also getting feedback from our schools in terms of, if they would like to email the reports to their parents, or if they would like to put it up on the communicator. But if you would like to see more how it works, if you maybe would like even to test it, you can just email me and we can just discuss it. Okay, I hope I've answered your question. All right. So if you have more questions, you can unmute your microphone. So from my side, what I will do is we will email you the recording of this school forum in case you would maybe would like to watch some parts of it again. We will also send you a presentation. Yeah, and more information. So Avanda, so I'm just going to mark on my side so that I can email you more details. And also currently, you know, for the past few months, we've been working on a training course for our schools. Basically, it's a one-day course, and schools will be able to see for themselves how the system works and how it simplifies all your workload in terms of your budget, in terms of your O43. So we're going to basically do it with our existing schools and also with the schools who have never used our program, just to see how it works, you know, for you to actually test it firsthand, because they say until you try it, you know, it's hard to actually know for sure. So if there is any interest from you to maybe complete such a course, you can also just email us about this. So the idea is that you basically upload your own chart of accounts. Well, it's a template that we provide you with, but it will give you an indication because most schools have similar chart of accounts. It's just the different accounts that various schools use. And then you link your chart of accounts to your O43 and also the budget. So it's connecting all the dots, you know, and for you to get a deep understanding how the system actually works and how it assists you with all the critical processes. Yeah. So from my side, I think that's it, and we can wrap up. I'm going to keep this screen open just in case maybe you have more questions. But I would also like to thank Michelle for her assistance. You know, their team has been very hardworking, and we really enjoy working with them. They ask us questions, you know, and also give us feedback in terms of what works well, what doesn't work well. So it's been great. And I really appreciate, Michelle, your assistance. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. I'm glad that I could add value. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, so if any of you have more questions, like I've told you, you can unmute your microphone and just ask it out loud. But if you maybe prefer to email us, you've got Darian's email address, and I'm just going to put my email address in the chat window. All right. So if you have more questions or if you have more feedback, you can just email us. So thank you so much and have a great day further. And if you think of some question, like I've said, I will be here and we can, I will try to answer your question. All right, keep well and have a good week.